Yo, what's good? What's good? What's good? This your boy Coach Dante in the building. Here this morning, got my boy Mo. Mo, how you doing this morning?
Hey, good morning, Coach. How's it going?
I'm doing good, doing good. Trying to fight allergies off right quick, man. But other than
Same
that,
way.
yeah, man. Uh, but other than that, we had the Miami Heat game yesterday. Hold on, right.
Coach will be right back in a minute. I'm just geeked to talk about what happened last night in game one of the Eastern Conference Finals. That was, I want to say surprising, but after what Miami's done through this postseason, not surprising at all. And really not surprising with what the Celtics did. Um, as talented and as deep as Boston is, they just find ways to underwhelm at times. And their late game execution, it's been a problem for them. And if it continues to be a problem against this Miami team, they won't be going back to the finals. That much I can tell you. Miami is not the kind of team you want to make mistakes with or leave the door open for them to go on a run like the Heat did in the second half. We got the Western Conference Finals too, so we can get into that as well.
Yeah, definitely. Man, we had the Eastern Conference finals last night. But like I say, Miami. What don't we know? About the Miami Heat. I know they just keep showing people, how tough they are, how good Jimmy Butler really is. Took over the game last night. Mo, what you thought about the game?
It was a game of two halves. Boston looked great in the first half. Had the lead, had control of the game, but Miami was there. They never separated from Miami, and you saw the first half that Marcus Smart had 9 assists, getting everybody involved. He wasn't sloppy with the basketball, but he finished the game with 11 assists, and he wasn't nearly as good with the ball or distributing in the second half. I thought Boston did what they tend to do sometimes. They get a little sloppy with the ball, and they fall in love with the three, and they kind of hone in on one thing instead of keeping their offense diversified. The ball movement stopped. They became a more of an ISO team again, and I thought Miami throughout the game, the ball movement and the shooting. I mean, I think the Heat shot almost 50% from three, Coach, for the game, and over 50% from the field. So Boston's defense, it never really showed up. Miami got whatever shot they wanted, and we keep talking about, well, playoff Jimmy. We know about playoff Jimmy buckets. We know what he can do. Here's the crazy part. We knew that before the playoffs started, but we didn't pick them to beat Milwaukee. I'm being honest. We didn't pick them. He did it. We saw what happened. Now, we know the Knicks aren't as good as Milwaukee, but still we thought, well, the Knicks are probably the better team. They'll find a way. Guess what happened? We did it
Yeah.
again. We go to the Eastern Conference Finals. The Celtics, if you go by conventional thinking, the better team, the deeper team, the more talented team, they're going to win this series. What happened? Game 1, playoff Jimmy smacks them. Miami's up 1-0. You know what? We know better, and we still bet against this dude, knowing what he can do. And it's kind of crazy. So you can't take your pick back. I picked the Celtics, but am I going to be stunned if Miami goes back to the finals? Not even a little bit.
Well, I did pick them against the New York Knicks because I
Oh,
thought
that's right. My bad. You did.
after they beat Milwaukee, I thought they had a great shot of beating the New York Knicks, and that's exactly what they did. Exactly what they did. But like I say, man, again, Miami shows why you can't let them into the playoffs. It's kind of like letting a team like North Carolina, Kentucky in the NCAA tournament when you got them on a break in a fringe end of the tournament. It's kind of like when you know they can get into an NCAA tournament, you know they can damn near win it all. You know they can be a dangerous team no matter what seed they are. That's Miami. But Miami shot 51% from three. They made 16 threes. It's hard when you're making 16 threes. And like I say, people like Caleb Martin, Kyle Lowry starting to step up, hit shots. You got guys,
Gabe Vincent.
Gabe Vincent, Matt Screws, Kevin Love, giving you some stability on the rebounding edge.
I think they had 6 guys in double figures, Coach.
They had 6 guys last night in double figures. So, I mean, this series is going to be a tough series for Boston, man. I say I have Boston and Denver in the NBA Finals, but Boston, they better wake up, man. They better wake up because this team ain't going to lay down. They're not going to lay down, let you beat them. Boston already come off a tough series versus, the 76ers, which we'll get into them in a minute. But this is not going to be a gimme series. This series may go 7 like it did last year.
And it's different, right? Because Philly kind of underachieved. You're not going to beat Miami because you outwork them. You're not going to outwork them. And if you open the door when there's a lead and you got a lead, they're going to kick the door down. Right now, Miami, what's crazy about Miami is they got 7 undrafted players on their roster. They have 3 or 4 of them in their regular rotation. Undrafted dudes, like when we talk about heat culture, whoever does scouting and that scouting crew, they find ball players. They go out and find ball players. They're not the most highly talented, but they find ball players. Caleb Martin to me, that's a legit 3-and-D guy. That's the kind of 3-and-D guy other teams should pursue. A guy that actually locks down on D and can make big threes. He's even gotten better at getting to the basket. Like, talent is a gift, and it's great to have talent. Boston has more talent, but what's in your chest, your heart, that grit? Miami has that grit, and they make you play their style. Boston likes to take threes, but I don't think they want to get into a 3-point shootout with Miami.
I don't think they want to do that. Boston's been struggling from the 3-point line a lot lately. So we'll see what they're going to do about that part in game 2. Now, game 1 for the Lakers in Denver looked like the Lakers were going to get run up out of the gym pretty quickly. The way the game started, I thought that's where they lost the game early in the game. I didn't see the defensive energy. No team couldn't play any type of defense at all. But Anthony Davis kind of got worked against Nikola Jokic. Anthony Davis did go back at him with 40 points in this ball game as well. LeBron James took a questionable 3 when you should have probably just went to the basket and got a 2-pointer up out of that. Austin Reaves hits 2 threes in a row. 2 threes in a row. The third 3, he was wide open. I thought he should have took. Instead, he turned the ball over pretty much. D'Angelo Russell was god awful in this game
on both ends of the floor.
On both ends of the floor, Schroeder did not have a solid game. But other than that, Rui Hachimura did a great job. 17 points, came off the bench. He was Jokic only scored 6 points against him. He played pretty good on Jokic, but we'll see what adjustment Jokic will make in this game tonight. But other than that, Jokic had a solid game. Michael Porter Jr. with 15. He is my key to Denver winning this series. Jamal Murray, 31 points, unstoppable in the first half. Caldwell Pope even chipped in 21. You had Bruce Brown going for 16. So pretty much Denver did whatever they want against this Lakers defense. Denver got to the free throw line 26 times, so that means they were being aggressive. The Lakers got to the free throw line 22 times, so both teams got the benefit of the calls. The out rebounding 17 by Lakers got out rebounded by 17. That kind of hurt. Jokic got every offensive board. That's on Anthony Davis. You got to do your damn job. You got to find a way to keep Jokic up off the boards. Denver had 29 assists. The Lakers moved the ball well. They had 30 assists. They moved the ball pretty well. Lakers didn't turn the ball over. So offensive rebounding and rebounding edge and defense hurt the Lakers. What you think, Mo?
I think it was this was very similar. At one point, this looked like a blowout. It looked like Denver was going to run the Lakers out the gym, and I thought it was important that the Lakers stayed attached even when it was going on. Like it felt like they were up 30 and they were up like 11 or 14 at the half, and the game changed when the Lakers' offense was better. Look, everybody's saying, well, the Lakers have to stop Denver. No, Denver's going to score, and you're going to have to get stops, but if your offense is good offense will set up your defense. And the Lakers' offense was bad because they were launching bad shots, and the Nuggets were getting runouts. If the Nuggets play fast, they're gonna blow the doors off the Lakers. The Lakers want to make it about half-court execution. They want to walk it up and they want to control the pace. I thought in the second half, a great adjustment, putting Hachimura on Joker because no, he can't guard him straight up by himself, but by having AD off of him, AD became the weak side defender. So whenever Joker wanted to turn to that shoulder, AD was coming over. It changed everything. They're going to have to make an adjustment and find a way to make Aaron Gordon more of a threat off of AD playing basically a free safety. I like everything the Lakers did in the second half. The actions they did with Austin Reaves and LeBron James, it freed up Austin Reaves because you got the switch. They kept getting that switch with Jamal Murray and LeBron James. You got to double LeBron. I thought they should have went back to the play that LeBron took the three because Austin Reaves was in a rhythm. I think that's something the Lakers got to continue to do. They're going to play a bigger lineup until the Nuggets adjust to that and hurt them. Denver's a good defensive team, but they're not a great defensive team. You can score on them. The challenge is, can you negate the rhythm of their offense? Can you, it's not just about trying to stop Joker. It's about what he does when he gets good looks for Caldwell Pope, when he gets a good look for Michael Porter Jr., or when him and Jamal Murray, coach, when they do that two-man action, nobody stopped that yet.
And the problem is the Lakers tried to double him, but Joker's got so much of a basketball IQ. I don't know how you try to even do that. Again, this dude, he was getting doubled in the first half of the game, and I just see him picking apart the Lakers defense. It's going to be hard. But like I say, like you said, and like I saw, Rui Hachimura did a great job standing in front of him. Rui Hachimura is a pretty big guy. He's a pretty big guy, man. He's a pretty big guy. He's pretty strong. But again, Lakers going to have to make the Denver Nuggets play half-court offense. You cannot let them get the rebound and run up the court, or it's going to be it's going to be pretty much a long night if any time that happens, because the Denver Nuggets, you're playing right at their pace. They want to play fast. They want to run you up out the gym. And that two-man game between Jokic and Jamal Murray, that's unstoppable. Lakers couldn't stop that all night long. Caldwell Pope going out for 21. Lakers got to get this defense going, but that started by slowing the game down, getting the offense, getting the boards, getting on the defensive board, and have a little toughness on the defensive boards, man. So, again, Anthony Davis had 40 points. He went back at him, but again, he got outworked on the defensive glass and the offensive glass by Jokic, and that was the game. You got beat down by 17 on the rebounding edge, and that can't happen right there. They were able to get back in the game by taking better shots, getting better shot selection, being aggressive, going to the rim. And the Denver Nuggets shows a lot of signs of undiscipline too. They fouled a lot in this game. They were stopping the clock. They were actually helping the Lakers out. And like I
They
say,
started
LeBron,
reaching.
yep, LeBron took a bad shot at the tail point of the game. I thought you should have been aggressive and went to the rim on that shot instead of pulling that shot. You didn't need the three in that situation. And then next thing you know, you turn the ball over on the last possession. On the last possession, you should have. Austin Reaves should have gone ahead and probably took the three because he made 2 out of 3 prior to that one. But other than that, like I say, again, we'll get into our predictions at the end of the show. But we got more and more problems. We just got more and more problems than the Lakers. Right now, we're talking about the teams that are in the playoffs at this moment. But Jokic versus AD, Jokic versus AD. What do you expect from AD tonight in Game 2? What do you want to see? I know you're not stopping Jokic. You're not going to stop him. You're not going to shut him down. But what you want to see better for AD tonight?
I just think I want him to be more aggressive earlier. He was great in he was solid in the first half, but I thought he was more aggressive in the second half. Look, you're right. You don't stop Jokic, but I think the best way to stop him is to make him play more defense, attack him, try to use up some of that energy because Joker plays at his own pace on offense. So I think the Lake and they did a good job of this too. They involved the Joker in a lot of pick and rolls. I think they wanted to get him going side to side. So more of those kind of actions, 2-man games between AD and LeBron. I just want AD to be consistent, be like you said, Coach, a little bit more active, a little bit more physical on the backboards. I know Joker is a handful. I'm not saying he's going to out rebound Joker, but just get in there and be competitive, man. Just put your body on the line and be more competitive because Aaron Gordon and the Joker on the boards, they're a handful.
So, interesting question that Key brought up. Do you think the Lakers should consider benching D'Lo tonight? Benching D'Lo, like bring him off the bench and just start someone else in the lineup.
I'm glad Key brought that. Great question, Key. Yes. Well, you know what? Knowing Darvin Ham, he won't because he thinks that it probably hurt D'Lo's confidence. But you're a pro, man. This is about winning it, trying to get to the championship. This is just a bad matchup for look. D'Lo's whole thing is if he's making shots, then he can stay on the floor because he's not a good defender. But he can't guard Murray. It seems like Caldwell Pope, his movement off the ball, he's too quick for him. Like D'Lo got lost. Like when Bruce Brown came in and he got matched up with D'Lo, he destroyed D'Lo. He was hunting D'Lo. Like I would consider starting someone else and bringing D'Lo off the bench just because D'Lo might have more success against the second unit because he's just not. He just look. You already said it, Coach. They're a terrific offense, and you're not going to stop them, but you need your best defenders out there to at least challenge shots. D'Lo's not one of those guys.
I mean, it was pretty bad in that first half. Bruce Brown was running up and down the floor, and nobody stopped. Nobody was stopping the basketball.
I mean, what?
Nobody was stopping the basketball. Bruce Brown got the rebound, and he would just run up and down the floor. Just run up
Dumped
and
on
down
the
the
whole
floor.
team, Coach. What?
Yes. Nobody was standing in front of this guy. Literally, the guy either if it was in a half court set, D'Lo was just getting burnt. He was just getting killed, and he couldn't guard nobody out there. So again, I would borderline start Rui. To be honest, I would borderline have to start Rui for D'Angelo Russell. D'Angelo Rui is going to give you some defense, and he's going to give you 3-point shooting, and he's going to give you a little bit more size as well.
I think that's a good adjustment, and that's something Darvin Ham's got to consider doing. It Denver is such a fluid and diverse offense, and the Lakers they caught them at their best. Like Caldwell Pope dropping 21, Porter Jr. getting off, Aaron Gordon getting his buckets, and then you got like Jokic and Jamal Murray doing their thing, and then Bruce Brown comes off the bench and he seemed unguardable because nobody stayed in front of the man. What is Bruce Brown, about 6'4"? He plays like he's 6'10".
Yep. So now you got a little bit of a problem right here with Austin Reaves. You already know he's up for a 4-year deal, coming up this coming season. Do you think the Lakers retain him, or do you see him walking and going somewhere else?
I think the Lakers are going to make him a fair offer, but it wouldn't surprise me if another team makes him one of those kind of offers, you can't refuse. I mean, I'm sure he wants to remain with the Lakers, but if somebody gives him double what they ask, or I don't know, $30 million more, my guess is Austin Reaves is going to take that money. He's going to take the money the way other free agents take the money. The Lakers need to find a way to get him. I know you don't want to overpay him, but you don't want to lose him. The guy has turned himself into a vital part of the team. So instead of making the mistake that the Nets made with Bruce Brown, I just think the Lakers got to do whatever it takes to sign him.
You say I'll see what happened with Schroeder trying to get greedy.
Greedy would have been if he had took that $80 million they offered him.
Yep. Said Austin Reaves should take the right deal, not the highest deal. Yep, I agree with that. But a lot of people
I agree with that. I don't know if that's what's going to happen, but I agree with that.
A lot of people ain't gonna do that. A lot of people want their money. They want their money. So
Caruso took his money. He went to Chicago. Yep. He got his money.
Yep. A lot of people ain't like that in the NBA. They not all. Sometimes, like Carmelo Anthony, I remember he did that years ago. He had a chance to go to a championship contending team at that time, and then he went, took the money, went for New York, went to back to New York. Where he should have went on and left New York at that proper time. At that time, at that stage, he should have went to a contending team. He didn't want to do that, so he wasted his career in New York.
Coach, what the original plan was, it was going to be Wade, LeBron, and Melo.
Yep.
They wanted him to wait a beat, and he got anxious and wanted to take that max deal and get it early instead of waiting like they planned to.
Yep, he did. So Mike Malone coached a good game. How good of a game do you think Mike Malone did coach? Or do you think it was more Lakers? Do you think it was more Lakers failing to adjust more earlier? Or do you give Mike Malone the credit?
I think it's a little bit of both. I thought you coming into the game, one, you knew the Nuggets wanted to play fast. I thought what they did well was, even when the Lakers scored, they hard pushed the ball. They were moving, they were running up the court on makes. So they challenged the Lakers from the gate. And I think Mike Malone was, now granted, in the second half when the Lakers made a run, I thought Mike Malone was a little puzzled because Darvin Ham, he did a chess move, putting in Rui and letting AD come from the weak side. So now we got to see what Mike Malone does in game 2. But I thought Mike Malone coached I thought he coached a great game. They got out to a big, monstrous lead. And yes, you're right. The fouling in the second half basically helped the Lakers get back in the game, but they did enough to do what they were supposed to do, which is win game 1. So I thought Mike Malone, look, he's a good coach. He's a really good coach.
Got you on that one. Like I said, Denver was a little bit undisciplined at the end of the ball game. At the end of that ball game, they fouled, stopped the clock too much. That would help the Lakers get in the game, and the Lakers hit some big timely threes too. They did. They were pretty good at the 3-point. They were okay at the 3-point line at the end of it. So, what are the goal for the Lakers in game 2 tonight? You know, you don't want to go back to LA 2-0-2. You know, Denver, I think Denver is capable of stealing one in LA, still in the game in LA. What do you want to see Lakers do differently tonight in game number 2?
Get off to a much better start. Much better start. Even if the Nuggets come out on fire, I don't care. I'd rather you trade with them. Trade with them, match their energy, match their physicality. You don't want to go home 2-0. I mean, it's not the end of the series, but I think the Lakers they want to take one in Denver to try to establish that this is going to be a long series. So I expect them to come out with a better start. I look for them to be a lot more physical, and I think they're going to come out with that. They're going to go to that big lineup. Whether they start with the big lineup, I think they'll go to it early. I think they're going to look to try to not stop Joker, but slow him down a lot sooner.
Definitely on that one. So man, like I say, I know I did it. Like I say, I wasn't disappointed as many fans was. So I did 30 minutes of the NBA lottery. And congratulations to the San Antonio Spurs from winning the Victor Wembanyama sweepstakes at that point. But Detroit fans gotta be feeling worse, got to be feeling bad. And a lot of Detroit fans told me and said, "Man, I'm hurt, man. We didn't get the number one overall pick." And like I say again, in the NBA is not NFL. You got to depend on the damn lottery ball to get you a pick. NFL, you get the number one pick straight out of the gate when you have the worst record. Detroit had the worst record in the league and still got number 5, so it had to be stressful for them. Had to be stressful for them. But San Antonio wins Victor Wembanyama. That was the golden prize, pretty much for everybody. I didn't think the Rockets needed Victor Wembanyama. He's not a fit for this. I'm not going to say he's not a fit for my team, but we don't need a center. We don't need a center. That's the
You already
problem.
got Sengun.
Yeah, we already got Sengun. So what's the point of drafting them? But I understand. Like I said again, so San Antonio, Greg Popovich pulls out another one, another hat trick on that part. What you think about the Spurs getting Victor Wembanyama?
You know
Like
what?
winning his
It almost felt like it was meant to be. So he's going to go to San Antonio. All of a sudden, Popovich, who probably was leaning towards retiring, Pop's not going nowhere. He's sticking around. And look, they do have some talented young players on that Spurs team. You add Big Vic to that team and maybe throw in some vets during free agency. I'm not going to say something crazy, but they might be a fringe playoff team. They might be good enough to be in the play. And look, if he's as good as advertised, and I'm not one of the people putting a crazy kind of pressure on this kid because I think he's got to get his feet wet, get used to the NBA game, the physicality of it, and all that. Not to mention, now we're talking about 82 games. I still think if he's as good as advertised, they might surprise people and be a fringe playoff team. I think ultimately it for the league, maybe it would have been better had he gone to the Pistons, but the Spurs is one of those great organizations that him going to that organization, they're not going to be in a rush to put tons of pressure on this kid. He's going to develop the right way under the right tutelage. There's going to be a lot of continuity between the vets, the young guys, the coaching staff, Pop, the whole nine. So I like that culture as well. I think he'll do really well in San Antonio. And look, the Spurs have been a great team, obviously up until when Duncan retired, and they had to go through those lows like everybody else does. Vic puts them back to prominence, and who knows, 2-3 years from now, we're talking about the Spurs contending for a title. So I think it ultimately is great for the league because as older players transition out, you're always looking for that next star. Everybody thinks that Vic is that next transcendent guy that's going to be a star for the next 15 or 20 years. As a fan, I hope he's everything that people project him to be because it's great for the league.
Yep. I can tell you who's going to be a star. That dude from Alabama, Brandon Miller, that dude's going to be a star. That dude may be a superstar. He may turn out to be.
I think Charlotte might think they're disappointed, but if they do the smart thing and draft Brandon Miller, because I would, they're going to be just
I'll
fine.
draft him in a heartbeat. I definitely draft him. His game similar reminds me of a Paul George. That's his game. That's what he reminds me of. I mean, that dude can do a little bit of everything. He can do everything. I'm gonna say everything. And he's the only one at the top of this draft that's an elite 3-point shooter, pretty much. Shoots 38% from three, can handle 6'9", can get to the rim, got crazy athleticism. I would love for the Rockets to get him, but I know he's going to be gone. He's not going to even make it to 4. Scoot Henderson, it's an opportunity. It's a chance for Scoot, to get drafted by Charlotte as well. I think Charlotte and LaMelo Ball, I think that's the backcourt can be type of dynamic, but Scoot got a lot of weaknesses. His shooting is questionable a lot. His shooting is real questionable. He got a good sign of shooting, 32%. But again, it's still questionable. You got the 2 Thompson twins, who's really, really good. We'll hope the Rockets get either one. Rockets can get either one. The only problem is their shooting is real questionable. So 3 of the top 4 guys, besides one of them, I would say 4 out of the 5 guys is questionable in shooting outside of Brandon Miller, but you can develop a shot over time.
Right.
Remember that guy, Gilbert Arenas, who came out and couldn't shoot a lick? All of a sudden, he goes to the Wizards. He started becoming some like of a god in shooting the basketball. You can develop a shot over time in the NBA. So other than that, These congratulations to San Antonio. Don't like it because they're in my division, and I got to see Victor Wembanyama. But again, our roster, we're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine with Coach Ime with $60 million, the most money in the NBA. As far starting as free agents, we're going down the right path. We're gonna be cool. We're gonna be good.
I didn't know you guys had that much cap space. That's insane.
Yep. We got the most. We got the most cap space in the NBA as of right now in the free agency block. So, yep. So again, we got James Harden declining. His option, his team option, pretty much maybe a free agent. This year he's going to be a free agent, which is we kind of expect he's going to decline the option to go for a max contract. Now Philadelphia lost. All the beans will spill. James Harden, Cam, I believe Doc Rivers is out of that because of James Harden wanted that out of that. That's what I personally believe. Daryl Morey and James Harden, if y'all don't know, they're best friends. Daryl Morey would do anything for James Harden. If James Harden told Daryl Morey to rub his feet, he would do it. James Harden. He tell him to bend down, kiss his behind, he would do it. That's the relationship they got. I know this because, hey, they were in Houston. And James Harden did whatever hell he wanted to do. So I believe the move was enticed to try to keep James Harden down. I don't know if they're gonna keep him, but I believe that's why the move was made.
Because get rid of Doc. Get rid of Doc to please James Harden, right?
No, that's what I believe the move. That's what
I'm asking you. Is that what you think they did it to please James Harden?
Yes, that's what they did. He's right. Coach is right. I listen. I heard the James Harden comment me brought up, and I had to hop on here. I'm literally like running out the house, but the James Harden comment I have to hop in on. As a 76ers fan, if the 76ers max James Harden, I will find another team to root for the next 4 years.
I said it.
Listen to me. I'm telling you right now, if the 76ers max this man, and like I can see the next move, right? Like I'll tell you the next move, right? They're going to max Harden, and then they're going to trade Maxey for a piece to try to fit with Harden and Embiid. And it's going to break my heart. And whoever Tyrese Maxey goes to, if I can stomach that franchise, I'll root for them for the next 4 years.
And I don't want this to happen for Sixers fans. If I had a choice for a coach, it may be Monty Williams. If I had a choice, but I got a feeling it may be Mike D'Antoni. I got a feeling it may be Mike D'Antoni.
So in other words, they're putting the band back together. Morey, D'Antoni,
That's what James Harden wants. And that's what James Harden wants. All of a sudden, he wanted Doc Rivers about it. You heard what James Harden said in the press conference. They asked him straight up, how's your relationship with Doc Rivers? He said, it's okay. He didn't even say that with confidence. He said that feeling down. He said, it's okay. The next day, he's out of the door. Next day, he's gone.
Yep.
Very next day, he's gone. So other than that, they didn't have a great relationship at all. That's what it told you. And next day, he's fired. Then all of a sudden, Mike D'Antoni comes up in the picture. He's getting an interview. He's on the coach's list. But if I had a choice, it would be Monty Williams. I will pick Monty Williams to be a head coach for the Sixers.
I have three choices. You can pick either one. Door number one, door number two, or door number three. If I'm the 76ers ownership, if I'm the 76ers front office, there's three choices. Door number one, Nick Nurse. I'll take Nick Nurse, Philadelphia, good coach, won an NBA championship. Door number two, Sam Cassell. I'll make Bucks like Milwaukee because like Sam Cassell. Give me some Sam Cassell. I like Sam Cassell. The team respects him. He's waited his time. Very smart basketball mind. And then the third one, door three, is Monty Williams. Any one of those doors you want to open, I'm okay with it. The door I'm not okay with opening is max James Harden and sign Mike D'Antoni. It would break my heart if that happened as a 76ers fan. It would break my heart. I've watched this 76ers team. And, the one thing that got left out on that Daryl Morey press conference that I thought was super interesting was the Joel Embiid went to Morey and said, like, you know, what do I got to do? What can I do better? And Daryl Morey apparently told him, the way you disappeared in the playoffs, particularly the second round, like, you need to be ready for the playoffs and stop wearing, like, you know, stop being chasing awards in the regular season. That's what apparently Daryl Morey told Joel Embiid. And Joel Embiid took that very seriously and got right in the gym immediately. And he's going to take a lot more playoff reps. Bullshit, bro. If I'm the 76ers, I'm building. I said this last night on Wire to Wire. Coach, I seen you in the comments. I went on a passionate tirade last night.
Hey, I did too. I agree with 100% because this, what I got, that's Joel Embiid full resume, actually, in every playoff round that he played in. And it's not good. It's not good. It's terrible. Actually terrible. It's actually terrible. So this, I did a lot of research and a lot of background up on this. And this is right here. Joel Embiid is just as bad in the play, just as bad as in the playoffs as James Harden is. When I researched and looked at everything, this man is, you go 10 last two years, Joel Embiid is the number one scorer in the NBA. This man is not even top 10 since 2021 in the playoffs. He's not even top 10 in scoring. So he
drops off 10 points per game.
Yes, he drops off 10 points per game. All the people, Anthony Edwards and Jalen Brunson is in front of him, literally, in playoff scoring since 2021. Brandon Ingram is ahead of Joel Embiid. So again, Gene, I enjoyed the rant last night. I did that on 7,200 seconds to let everybody know, hey, Joel Embiid is just not in the playoffs. He got to improve. And tired of all the people saying he comes in hurt every goddamn year in the playoffs, and he's always on the floor. He's always on the floor. So it's nothing you should expect that he was not going to always come in healthy. But him being hurt does not hamper his play. He's too good. He's supposed to be a top 5 player in the league. He obviously had good enough rosters to make it to at least Eastern Conference Finals. Even though I think the roster was really outside of him was pretty bad. You had a bunch of fat dudes on the team. You had no athleticism at all. So I don't know how you expect to stay in front of some damn body. But other than that, Mr. Dez, how you doing today?
I'm good. Sorry for the late start. Work was busy yesterday, but the game was game 1 was electric. I think today the city is definitely feeling the good vibes. And we're gonna get game 2. I think the Lakers found something with Hachimura, but with Mike Malone, both teams are going to make adjustments. I just feel like it's going to be a game for the Lakers to lose if they don't come out hitting in the mouth. So I think Denver's going to take game 2 and be up 2-0.
All right, just coach real quick. Let me just reply.
What?
So if I'm the 76ers, my first phone call, and I know that they might not even answer it. Their phone has been disconnected. It's been unplugged from the wall. But my first phone call is to the San Antonio Spurs. And I say, San Antonio, I have the MVP of the league right here. I will trade him to you for the first overall pick. San Antonio is going to say no, and that's okay. I understand that. But I would trade Joel Embiid for the first overall pick tomorrow and build around Maxey and Wembanyama. That would literally be my first plan. Plan 2.
I think a lot of teams would do that.
Yeah, but there's not a lot of players that have the stats.
No, I mean, there are a lot of teams that do have stars. I'm just saying, like, I get why you would make that call. My guess is anybody that calls the Spurs, they're just going to hang up on.
Yeah, no, I agree. So my second thing, if I'm the 76ers, is I get rid of James Harden. He's gone. He needs to go. I trade Tobias Harris for a bag of Doritos. I don't care if they're nacho cheese or Cool Ranch, but I want to trade him for a bag of Doritos. He's got 1 year left on his contract. He's an expiring deal. It could be some value, maybe a second-round pick. I'm kidding. I don't want anything back. Just take the damn contract. And then I build around Maxey and Embiid with wing players, 3 and D players that can play D. Maxey is now my starting point guard. Embiid is still my center. And I build my team around Mikal Bridges type players. Like, yeah, the 76ers have Mikal Bridges in the building. I'm telling you right now, and this is the one thing that drives me nuts about Philadelphia. If you would have put me in the front office, just a guy. I'm just a guy on a podcast. In 2015, and with all the assets that team had, I could not have screwed it up worse than what the 76ers organization did. And I just want you to think about it for a minute, right?
They had plenty of opportunities.
Jaleel Okafor over D'Angelo Russell. Okay? Then you go, you trade Drew Holiday for Michael Carter-Williams. Or Nerlens Noel, essentially.
Yep.
Okay? You draft Joel Embiid. Okay, I'll take that. You draft Ben Simmons. How'd that work out? You trade a first-round draft pick and your 3 overall draft pick to move up from 3 to 1 to take Markelle Fultz over Jason Tatum. This is what the 76, you max Tobias Harris and let Jimmy Butler walk out the door.
Yep.
This is what happened. If you wrote that down on the timeline, a Netflix movie couldn't screw that up worse. I'm not kidding with you. Around every corner.
I know y'all missed out on a lot of talent. Y'all even missed out on De'Aaron Fox. Y'all even missed out on they missed out on a lot of.
I'm going to say something right now, and you're going to laugh at me, but I would rather have Tyrese Maxey going forward than De'Aaron Fox.
I mean, I'm just saying, De'Aaron Fox, he turned. He
I don't know
still
about that
something that you.
I like Maxey, but I don't know.
On at that point,
Tyrese Maxey is a budding superstar. He's going to be a superstar in the league.
I like Maxey, but I'll stick with Fox. I like Maxey.
That's fair. I know it's a bold take, but I would take the Tyrese Maxey to run my point guard over De'Aaron Fox.
I actually thought Maxey was froze out by James Harden in the offense. I actually thought he was kind of froze out a little bit because if it ain't pick and pop or pick and roll between James Harden and Joel Embiid, or Joel Embiid getting the ball and everybody just standing around, or James Harden just dribbling the ball and everybody just standing around there, the offense really ain't moving. The ball really not moving around. So, Mo, in your opinion, what do the Sixers do? I know James Harden is, like I say, he is declining his option. Also, it was rumors that he's upset too, that he did take a pay cut, try to help out the team, and it didn't even did work. So he was kind of upset about that. So what should the Sixers kind of do? And I also want to get Gene's take on this. They said as well, both Daryl Morey and James Harden both should have been gone. Both should have been got up under the door. But like I was saying yesterday, and I was telling Key, and I was saying in Gene chat, the firing was enticed by James Harden. That's what it was. I think the firing was enticed by James Harden to Daryl Morey to try to keep him there. I don't know if it will work or so.
You won't know if it's the firings based on James Harden yet until that happens, whether he signs or not. So, Coach, all right, so let me just be clear with you. If I'm the 76ers and you ask me if I should fire Daryl Morey, well, that depends on what happened closed door. Mm-hmm. Do you plan on extending Harden?
No.
Yes?
Not any way it goes. Not me. I wouldn't.
No. If I'm the 76ers organization and I'm talking to Daryl Morey, and I'm like, what's the future? You're firing Doc. What's the future? Do you plan on extending Harden? Yes. Hit the road.
Yep.
Now, if he says no, we're firing Doc. We're James is not coming back. We're going to build around Tyrese and Joel. I think Daryl Morey's a top flight GM in all basketball. The problem is his Achilles heel is James Harden.
Yeah.
Because James Harden got him his career. That trade and you do realize why Daryl Morey is so in love with James Harden. Yep. James Harden got him his career. Yep, his career was built.
He carried us for 10 years. He carried us for 10 years. That was his way. That's his way getting Houston back in the relevance. So, I mean, James Harden is his best friend. But, I mean, like I say again, Hope Monty Williams is the hire. If it's Mike D'Antoni, I know for sure James Harden enticed the trade. He enticed the trade. He did it. Went to the front and told him that. So, Mo, what do the 76ers do? What should they do in the offseason? What should they do?
Look, Gene said it. To me, what they should do, focus on Maxey and focus on Embiid. You can reroute everybody else. Like it's time. You need to get more athletic and you need to get more wings around those two guys. That's where the league is. most teams aren't even playing with two bigs anymore. Most teams are playing with one big and a bunch of wings. So I like that idea. That's what they should do. What I think they're going to do, I think they're going to bring Harden back. That's what I believe is going to happen. I think Harden's going to come back. I don't know if he gets a max, but but my guess is because Morey's his dude, he's going to get damn near close to a max.
Des, what you think?
I would strip everything, man. Go with Maxey and Joel Embiid. Those are your core players, but everybody else got to go. I don't think Harden is the answer at all. I think he's already exploring options already. I mean, the reports Phoenix, other teams like that. If you want to go to a team like that, take that over there. I feel that Philly needs to start from scratch. How Denver did with the Melo trade, you need to everybody. Melo was at his prime with Denver, and they stripped him away, and it took a couple years. With those trades, especially in the draft picks, you got Jokic, you got Jamal Murray, and you see it now. It's blossomed. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm Daryl Morey, because I don't know if they have a lot of draft capital or not. You might trade somebody. Trade Harris. Go like Mo said and Gene. They need to be more athletic. They were kind of slow in the playoffs, in my opinion, especially against Boston, against Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, which they're both great athletes, but they just seem sluggish. And Joel Embiid, the thing that I need to see from him is take accountability for his loss. You're kind of pointing fingers every time it's a loss. He's not pointing. I mean, it's true. It's just I'm just like you're the MVP. Like, I'm a Nuggets fan. We all know it. But when Jokic messed up last year, he said, hey, we didn't play well enough. Even the game they won against the Lakers, he said, I don't give a dang about LeBron or AD. They don't scare me, And as Joel Embiid, you're the face of the franchise. You have a say. This is not James Harden's team. So if I'm Daryl Morey, if they bring back James Harden, Philly's going to have the exact same problems for years to come. There's no reason to bring back James Harden. It didn't help your offense as much. It was just pick and pop, James Harden, dribble. So if I'm the 76ers, rebuild with your two superstars, build with a young core that is athletic, can shoot, because their shooting is terrible too as well. PJ Tucker was terrible. So they need to get better at that.
I mean, Joel Embiid should have a say so, should have an input on who the next coach should be. He should at least have an input. He should at least have a say so. Not James Harden shouldn't have a say on who the next head coach should be. So that's what made it kind of strange. Now, all of a sudden, Doc Rivers was out of the door. Doc Rivers did every goddamn thing he could to win that series. He did every single thing he could to win that series, even when Joe Mazzulla, and I give credit to Joe Mazzulla from going to the lineup, the big man lineup, to keep the Sixers from rebounding, inserting, Robert Williams in the lineup at that time, and it was no answer for that. They only did that to keep the Sixers off the board, and they weren't really worrying about PJ Tucker as much. Robert Williams was just playing inside the paint a little bit, and make sure Joel Embiid don't fully get in the paint. It kind of worked, but Doc Rivers did everything he could to win that series, and your two best players did not step up. And for Joel Embiid to take a lack of accountability for himself and put his teammates up under the bus like that, that's just unacceptable for an MVP.
We know what happened in Game 7, but man, as a fan just watching, I thought Game 6 stung more. More.
No, that was it. That was serious.
That was right there. You're supposed to end that series. It's a grimy game. It's a dirty game, and I'm wondering. Embiid saying, "I'm not getting the ball," and I'm like, "Why are you drifting 30 feet from the basket? What are you doing? I had a little bit of problem with Doc in that game because you're the coach. Call a timeout and get the ball to your best player in the post. That game was right. I know what happened in Game 7, but Game 6, that I'm just a fan on the outside, and I'm watching that, and that stung because I wanted that for Joel Embiid. I wanted him. I thought that was his game. They were going to win that game and go to the conference finals, and you got nothing when it mattered most.
I want to call a timeout on that. I'm not blaming Doc Rivers for Joel Embiid and calling a timeout and say, give Joel Embiid the ball. Joel Embiid's got to want it. He's got to want the ball. He's got to want to go get the goddamn basketball. You're the MVP. You got to demand the damn basketball. You got respect around the whole league. You got to go get the basketball. You got to want it. Joel Embiid didn't want the ball. You went 4 goddamn minutes without touching the basketball. That's on you. You got to tell the people in the huddle, give me the goddamn basketball. Do you think Shaq telling people, "Give me the damn basketball"? Hell yeah, he tell him to get him the damn basketball. That's Joel Embiid's fault. He gotta want it. He didn't want it bad enough. And when he got it, Al Horford blocked his shot 3 straight times when he got the ball. He played soft. So there's no excuses to blame Doc Rivers to say, "Hey, get Joel Embiid." No, he's got to want it bad enough. He's the MVP of the league. He's the MVP of the league. You got to get your big ass down there. You got to demand the ball. You got enough respect in the league. You got a lot of respect. You're the MVP of the league. You got to want the ball. He didn't want the basketball in the last 4 minutes.
5 minutes and 57 seconds left. Tyrese Maxey in game 6. Clear path foul was called on Jason Tatum. Tyrese Maxey made both free throws. 83-81 Philadelphia. 5 minutes and 57 seconds left. I'm going to read you the transcript for the rest of the game. Joel Embiid misses 2-point shot. Robert Williams misses layup. Sixers get the ball back. Tyrese Maxey misses step back 3-pointer. Al Horford misses 3-pointer. James Harden misses step back 3-pointer. Jaylen Brown defensive rebound. Jason Tatum makes his first of 2 deadly threes. 26 point. 84-83 Celtics. Joel Embiid misses 19-foot pull-up jumper. Jason Tatum makes 28-foot step-back 3-pointer. 87-83. Tyrese Maxey misses 25-foot pull-up 3-pointer. Sixers get the ball back. It's 87-83. Malcolm Brogdon fouls Tyrese Maxey. Maxey misses the first free throw, makes the second. Marcus Smart makes a floating jumper to make it 89-84 with 2:38 left on the clock. PJ Tucker misses 24-point 3-pointer. James Harden offensive rebound. Al Horford blocks James Harden's 5-foot jumper. D'Anthony Melton misses 14-foot pull-up. Jason Tatum makes third for the 3-pointer. When Jason Tatum made that third 3-pointer, the 76ers walked up the court. James Harden missed a layup, and they quit with 1:37 seconds left. It was 83-81 with 5:57 left on the clock. The final score was 95-86. It was 83-81 76ers with 5:57 left, and they had the ball. They lost the game 95-86. That's it. just go through that transcript.
Hey, I saw the game perfectly, man. Jason Tatum was 1. He was 1 for 14, but at least he finished the game out strong. He finished the game out hot. He wanted it bad. He wanted it. He still
finished
wanted
the game
it
strong and took all that momentum into game 7.
Yep. And you felt like after they won that game 6, you knew the series was on. You knew the series was over. 100%. You knew the series was over after the game 7 loss. After the game 6 loss, you just kind of like you knew the series was over. And you're like, okay, we're down by 3. We're down by 3 points going into halftime. And the Sixers just came out lifeless as they could. Jason Tatum did whatever he wanted to do, and most of the points were scored on Joel Embiid. Most of the points was actually scored upon him. 2 jump shots. I thought, like I say, Jason Tatum also grew 2 inches. He's 6'10". But golly, you love Joel Embiid up on the island with if it was going to the basket, shooting the jump shot. The Sixers came out lifeless, and they just gave up in the second. They just gave up. After the double-digit lead, I feel like the Sixers gave up. They had no more fight left in them, and I just felt like it was it. It was just a rough rider. But other than that, the pregame press conference after that was kind of laughable a little bit to me when Joel Embiid tried to troll Giannis, and Giannis got a championship. When you trying to troll somebody that has success on winning, and then you blame your teammate, said you and James can't do it alone. And that had to rub in somebody's face. One of these guys' face, that had to rub in somebody's face, because I'll be cussing Joel Embiid out right now. I would have been cussing Joel Embiid out. When Gene said that yesterday, I would be cussing Joel Embiid. I would have been cussing him out. I would have got up on the podium. I would have gotten in his face and I want to cuss him out, because you're MVP at the end of the day, and James Harden did not step up when it mattered the most, especially the MVP when you're the MVP of the league, you take a lot of this blame. You take 100% of the blame, in my opinion. You're the MVP. You got to get the job done. You lost. You didn't show up against Toronto. You didn't even show up against Toronto. It was terrible against Toronto. You only averaged 15 points in that Toronto series. You were horrible against Toronto. Jimmy Butler kept them in the series in Toronto, but he played poorly in Atlanta, against Atlanta. Want to go back to that? You had 2 games with 8 turnovers. 2 games with 8 turnovers. You had a game when you shot 9 for 24 from the field. Again, didn't show up. You had a game versus Miami when you went 4 for 20. So again, Joel Embiid, he's out of excuses. He's out of excuses. All of these excuses needs to stop. So I want to get your take, Gene, on the game last night between Miami and Boston. I want to get your thoughts on that one.
Bro, it's sickening because Boston is so poorly coached. Joe Mazzulla is so out of his league right now. And the one thing I didn't take account for in this series was how big of a coaching differential it is between Eric Spoelstra and Joe Mazzulla. Joe Mazzulla is awful. And you talk about that too big lineup that Boston put in that the Philly had no answer for. Yes, they did. They just didn't make shots. Let's be clear when we say that. A lot during that Boston run, and like the one thing I disagreed with what you said is Boston's defense is clamping them up. No, the hell they weren't. There was so many missed wide open shots by the 76ers in that third quarter. It was embarrassing. That too big defense didn't stop the 76ers. Them being scared of the moment, not being able to make open three-pointers stop the 76ers. So watching last night, a team like Miami, who is the least talented team I've ever seen make it to the Final Four teams in an NBA. They're the least talented team I've ever seen make it this far in the playoffs. Go into Boston and beat Boston. It just reminds me of how ripe for the picking the Boston Celtics really were. And it hurts. It hurts watching it because you watch the guy that we let walk out the door, Jimmy Butler, who has the balls to hit that dagger 3. And it's tough. It's tough to watch, man. I'm a basketball fan and I'm a aficionado with basketball, but it's tough to watch this. It really is. I'll watch the Nuggets Lakers series just so I can troll Freddie. But at the end of the day, watching that Miami Boston series is going to be very tough.
Yep. Mo, that's what you saw. I didn't get your thoughts on that
one. I agree with Mo. I agree with Gene a little bit. Like I'm not a Philly fan. I'm a Nuggets fan, but you have Max Strus hitting threes, Kevin Love getting in the paint yesterday, right, and just playing like the Kevin Love we seen play in Cleveland. In Miami, they have players when it matters most and the moment's big, they don't shy away. Jimmy Butler is on an insane tear in these playoffs. And Boston had no answer for him. Joe Mazzulla at the timeout throwing his clipboard with frustration. If I'm a Boston Celtic player, that part of that organization, you have to win game 2. It's a must win. Your home court advantage is almost taken advantage of right now. And so for Miami to get one yesterday, that was a punch in the mouth. Like I said, I'm not trying to put Miami and Denver in the series in the finals just yet, but the thing about Miami, they do play great defense. And you got to give credit. Like Gene said, the coaching for these Final Fours, like Darvin Ham and Mike Malone and Eric Spoelstra and Joe Mazzulla, you could just say those 4 coaches, they've done well, but there's a first-year head coach. But look, there's a first-year head coach. I'm not trying to switch to the Lakers, but first-year head coach Ham, he made a jab. Like, I'm not trying to switch from it, but it's just like he made a jab at Denver saying, okay, this is not the NCAA tournament. There's more games to go. Yeah, but the Lakers think they found something. They didn't find anything. And for Miami, they found something, but Boston has to respond. If I'm Jason Tatum and I'm Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, you got to play better. So I think that was a good win for Miami, though, but I wasn't shocked because they do come with shots and they come with defense.
I can't allow you on this show to give Joe Mazzulla credit. I can't allow you to do it. He's awful. I'm not kidding with you. You could coach that Celtics team. Yeah, with all the talent that's on that team, you can coach that Celtics team.
Right.
Not anybody
He's
can coach
terrible.
the team. Not anybody can coach it. Go get in the NBA
I get in
team.
there, coach. Yeah, but Gene got a
Anybody can
point
do that.
though. You have Jaylen Brown, you have Jason Tatum, you have Al Horford, Marcus Smart, and you got
Malcolm
Spank
Brogdon.
and Malcolm Brogdon and Derek White, and you got a loss on your home court. I mean, even Max Strus hit threes.
Playoffs. You think everybody can go undefeated on the home court? It's playoffs.
No, but
To
like,
be fair, they made Boston look a lot like they made Milwaukee look.
They did. But that's Miami
way.
actually got guys that can break down the defense and get to the rim. Philadelphia didn't have guys that can get to the rim. And when Robert Williams was in the game, Joel Embiid couldn't even get in the paint.
We gotta stop that. Miami has one guy. Miami has one guy that can break down the defense and get to the lane. One guy. Let's stop pretending
I disagree
but
with that.
Hey, coach, we got to give credit.
Who else? Jimmy Butler and who?
Adebayo can do that. He can do the same.
Adebayo's a center. He's in the lane.
It doesn't matter. He can dribble. He can play make and get to the rim and shoot.
He's not breaking down the defense with his dribble, coach.
Hey, Bam Adebayo's been on a tear too as of late. He's been more aggressive. And when Jimmy Butler's not aggressive, Bam's aggressive. When he's not aggressive, Max Strus, Caleb Martin, they're shooting threes.
I would say Bam has been probably the second best defensive player in the playoffs. Bam is a beast defensively. He don't get a lot of block shots, but his ability to play in space and cover ground, he's not all NBA defense, but a fluke. He's a great defensive player.
I agree with you.
I'll just say this: Miami gets you to play their pace. They want you to play a wide open game, and they just lull you into that. The problem with the Celtics is they're more than willing to just throw up 3-point shot after 3-point shot, and they fall in love with it. As talented as Jaylen Brown is, sometimes he's just a turnover waiting to happen. I love that Jaylen Brown wants it. Like, I would think in some ways he wants it more than Tatum, but he's a turnover waiting to happen too often. Like, their offense, you watch any Celtics game, and at some point it literally just breaks down to ISO ball, ISO Brown or ISO Tatum. Even when they switch in Brogdon or White, it's just ISO ball. They don't consistently move the ball throughout a game, and their late game execution is horrible. And I no question that has something to do with coaching, but this isn't a they're a young team, but they're not kids. Brown and Tatum are in year 6, 7. Like, this is a veteran team. Yep. Marcus Smart is supposed to be one of the guys with one of the highest IQs in basketball. Throw in Al Horford. That's another proven vet. They should be better in tight situations than they are.
Agreed.
Yeah, definitely agreed. So we're going to break down the game tonight. I'm going to start with Gene. What happens in this game tonight, and who wins this ball game tonight?
I think the Lakers win the series in 4. I think it's a sweep, clean sweep.
This guy, come on, man.
I think that Mike Malone can't make any adjustments, and that Rui Hashimura is now. Listen, he's an all-star.
The Joker stopper.
Perennial all-star. He stops the Joker, and if we're being honest with you, I think the Lakers win this one by 40, go home, win the next 2, and then they have a challenge for game 1.
I ain't believing that. I know
Come on, bro. I said the Lakers in 4, and they already lost the game. All right.
I know he trolling.
I think Mike Malone makes the adjustments just like Darvin Ham does. I think I've said this for years. I think Mike Malone and Quinn Snyder are the 2 most underrated coaches in basketball, and you're finally starting to see it. I've always been on the Mike Malone train. I think he's got the right pieces, the right team, the toughness to do it. Joker is spreading out the floor. And if you really watch, and the funny thing is this, right? They said they added Rui. And I don't know how many people that think when they added Rui, they really stopped Denver. Denver stopped running the same play. They're running the same handoff to Jamal Murray the entire game and stopped running it. Like, I don't think that they necessarily stopped Denver. I just think Denver stopped running the same play that was working over and over and over again. If Jamal Murray's hitting his shots, I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a long series for LA. I think it goes 6 or 7. I really believe that it'll probably go 7. But if we're being honest with ourselves, I think that Denver has a lot more horses. And you're not going to get 9 for 11 out of Rui Hachimura every night, 17 points. You're not. It's not going to happen. But you can see – the funny thing is this, right? People are like, well, you're not going to get this out of Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, or you're not going to get this out of, all series. You're not going to get the same production out of Joker. But you know what you are going to get? Aaron Gordon didn't have a great game. Michael Porter Jr. didn't have a great game. Those guys can ring it up one game too. Whereas I look at the Los Angeles Lakers, and it's LeBron James and Anthony Davis, and then which flavor of the week can step up for them to be their third player. I think the thing that scares me the most about the Los Angeles Lakers, the way they're set up, is that the reports came out of Los Angeles that they were worried about D'Angelo Russell mentality coming off the bench. That's not playoff basketball. You do whatever your team asks you to do, because you could be the focal point of one series.
Oh, I agree.
And you could be a transition player in the next. I think that D'Angelo Russell is too mentally weak to come off the bench. And I believe that the Nuggets will win this game also. I think this game will be a highly contested game, 127-120. I think the Nuggets barely cover, and I think LA goes home and wins game 3. But I think this game will be a game of adjustments. And if you're going to tell me Darvin Ham made the ultimate adjustment of putting Rui Hachimura on Joker, I'm telling you right now, Mike Malone will have an adjustment for that. And if we're putting coach up against coach, I'll take Mike Malone over. I love Darvin Ham. I really do.
I'll take Mike Malone. I'll take Mike Malone too. I agree. I won't disagree with that.
So talent, I'm going to Nuggets. Coaching, I'm going to Nuggets. Home court, I'm going to Nuggets. Yeah, I got the Nuggets.
All right, Mo, who you going for? Who you got this game? What you think happens tonight?
I just think this is going to be a tight game, and it could go either way. I mean, of course, Malone will make. I'm sure they've looked at the film over and over again, and it's not even. Look, I'm not a coach, but you know that if AD's playing the weak side to Joker's left shoulder, that Aaron Gordon can't just stand over in the corner. He's got to move. The thing that you got, the adjustment is Aaron Gordon, don't stand in the corner like you're a spot up shooter. You're not Kyle Korver or Steve Kerr. Like, cut back door, make yourself more available in the dunker's position. You can counter it that way. I'm not going to say that's going to always work, but that what Darvin had did, it wasn't mind blowing. It was a smart adjustment. AD is much more effective coming from the weak side to challenge Joker than having his body in the Joker, because Joker is so big and skilled, he can just overwhelm AD one-on-one in the paint. So I thought that was just a common sense move. Mike Malone will make the common sense adjustment and make Aaron Gordon move more whenever they try to go to that lineup. And Aaron Gordon, he looks like a small forward, but he's got the strength and the power. He can play in the paint like a power forward. So look, Denver is the deeper team. They're the more well-rounded team. So if anybody tells me they're going to go up 2-0, that wouldn't stun me. But I'm going to say that the Lakers find a way to compete. And if it stays close late, I like the Lakers.
Des?
I know Mo, Freddie are both Laker fans here. I'm not going to troll Freddie because
we're different though. We're different kind of fans. I just want to put that out there.
Agreed. I agree with you.
True.
Like Jonathan said, Mo and Jonathan ain't no fanboys. Yeah. They ain't cheerleaders.
See, I like Mo. Mo, I like you as a Laker fan. Freddie, I don't know so much because it's always about the Lakers, right? But Mo, I respect you so much because you keep it 100, man. You keep it a buck. Darvin Ham was too cute. That adjustment was too cute. Like Gene said, I was at the game. I saw my own eyes. The game 1, altitude did play a factor for the Lakers. They looked sluggish. They looked tired. You seen LeBron in warm-ups missing multiple shots. Now that's warm-ups. But you see him kind of not like be the LeBron that we are used to seeing, where when the tip-off is off, you're aggressive. You're going. This Denver team will hit you in the mouth. Even Bruce Brown said it. This team has more shooters than the Suns did. The Suns just had KD and D Book. That was it. The Lakers have, and like Gene said, in that game you seen where Denver was up 20-something points, Anthony Davis was missing shots, turnovers. The person that kept him in the game and has been keeping him in games that will probably get a big contract after the season, is over with. It's Austin Reaves. He kept making 3 out of 3. And Denver is going to make the proper adjustments. With Darvin Ham, I just think he's too cute. I don't. He's being too cute with the situation. Like, you're getting out coached, you're getting outworked. You're telling your guys after the game, "Hey, we almost made it." And Laker fans feel like they found something with Hachimura. Nikola Jokic should have been the MVP. That's my personal opinion, because not only what he does on the basketball court, but look what he does for his team. This guy will average a triple double. I think he has tied Draymond Green with the most triple doubles in the playoffs so far. I think tonight he'll surpass that. The thing for Denver, like Mo said and Gene said, move Aaron Gordon. I think they're going to do the proper adjustments on that. And like Gene said too, and Mo, Michael Porter didn't go off that night, and so did Aaron Gordon. They got Bruce Brown, KCP went off, but that was his former team that they let him go when he won the final in the bubble. You know what I'm saying? And the thing, I said this before the series even started. The mentality for the Nuggets is way different than the Lakers. LeBron and them, I think they're just like, we're coasting. I'm not coasting. Anthony Davis put up monster numbers. Like, I'm fine with that, because you needed shooting, and you're stretching your bench thin now, because Hachimura, he'll give you some scoring, but Nikola Jokic will dissect Hachimura tonight. That's not a favorable matchup for the Lakers. If I'm the Lakers, you need to come out aggressive for all 4 quarters, because Denver's going to punch you in the mouth. And one thing about this state, and I know I'm a Nuggets fan, I went to the game, our fans are so passionate and so loud, it will make it really disruptive. And I know LeBron's been in games like this, but even at the bench, when he walked to the bench, he was frustrated. He was frustrated. You could tell he was frustrated. And D'Lo needs to step up big. His ball movement is just terrible. It is terrible. So I think the Nuggets win 2-0. I think Darvin Ham gets the reality check, because the comments he said during that press conference, Denver's already responded to that. They're letting their basketball do the talking, not just words in the press conference. There's no way in hell I'm going to say this isn't the NCAA tournament when we all know it's a series. There's going to be games you're going to lose, but this Denver team has been undefeated at home in the playoffs. They're one of the best home teams, and they feed off their fan base. So, like I said, tonight it's going to be rowed. It's going to be rocking. I think Denver's going to win. It's going to be a close matchup, and usually game twos are pretty close. I think game twos, I think teams score 29 less points in game twos. But the team that wins 2-0 in a Western Conference or any conference final, 90% of the time they win the series. So if I'm the Lakers, they have to win this game. This is a must-win game here, because if you're down 2-0, the Nuggets, you've seen what happened against the Suns too. They won 2 games, they lost 2 games, and then they came back and won the damn series. I think Denver will win tonight. They will lose in LA in the next game and win the next game. I think the Lakers only get probably 2 games out this series, because LeBron can. And the reason why I say is because LeBron cannot play 40-plus minutes.
Des, the only question I had, you said something earlier that you believe that Jokic should have been the MVP, and I'll fully concede that Jokic could have been the MVP this year, as long as you concede that last year Joel Embiid was definitely the MVP.
Oh yeah, I give you that. I think last year
that's it. That's the thing. I think Joel got it this year because they didn't want to give Jokic 3 years in a row, but I thought Joel should have won it last year.
Exactly. I agree with you 100%. And for Freddie, I think we all know he's on the LeBron James tour and Anthony Davis. My thing is, and like I said, it's just a coach that's so inexperienced, like Darvin Ham. Why make that adjustment late in the game when you should have done it when you were down before? I mean, like I said, if it wasn't for the Austin Reaves threes, I think the Lakers would have lost by way more points than what they lost to. And LeBron James,
Freddie's been a ghost since that game.
He has been a ghost.
I broke him in the chat, and he has been a ghost.
So, like I said, I'm keeping good vibes. Like I said, I got the T-shirt on from the first game. And this fan base is so loud and so like the city is so supportive with the Nuggets that, I mean, it's crazy. So, like I said, Denver's gonna win this game. Coach, I'm happy for you too as well. You know, I think you got a good lottery pick. I was trying to see if you get the number 1 pick, but San Antonio Spurs got it.
I'm fine. I'm fine where we at this point. But other than that, I don't think we go back to James' point about Caldwell Pope. I don't think Caldwell Pope need to drop 21 every game. As long as you have Jamal Murray being that second fiddle to Nikola Jokic, and if you can get Michael Porter Jr. to go off early like he did in the game, that's a plus because I think for Denver, Michael Porter Jr. is my sleeper in this series. If he can shoot the basketball and he's 6'10", he can create for himself as well. So if he can give Denver something, at least 15 points a night like he did, I think it could be a long series for the Lakers. I don't think Caldwell Pope needs to go out for 21 like he did last game. I think Bruce Brown, he's going to come out. He's like one of my favorite players in the NBA. He's going to come off the bench and give you defense. He's going to run the floor, and he was running the Lakers to depth in that first half. Got nobody that can guard him. And again, I'm gonna go with Denver in a close ball game. I'm gonna go with Denver tonight by 3. I think Denver, the crowd plays a big part of this game, but also I think if you try to put Rui Hachimura on Jokic a whole game, I think Jokic could adjust to that. I think Jokic will find a way to adjust to that. And you've seen the Lakers try to double team Jokic. It didn't work in the first half because he's got too much of a basketball IQ. He finds guys that cuts in. Like I say, Aaron Gordon is a very good cutter to the rim as well. He does participate on the offensive glass as well, help on the boards. So I think a lot of this is going to come down. I don't think the Lakers are going to slow the Denver Nuggets down. I think Denver Nuggets will eventually score, get hot. The problem to the Lakers, can they keep executing on offense? Can they keep executing offense? Can they rebound the basketball? I don't think the Lakers could do that tonight, but I do think it's going to be a 3-point ball game. I had Denver since the All-Star break going to the finals. I don't got them winning it, but I got them going to the finals. Other than that, but I think Denver win this game. I think Denver win this game by at least 3 points tonight. So any final thoughts on this game?
Let's go Nuggets. It's gonna be a wrap. I'm telling you, I'm just baffles me. And Mo, I want your question on this. I like your coach. Don't get me wrong. He's a defensive minded coach, but he seems so cocky. I never. I mean, it's only game 1, but it seems so cocky to me that you're like, okay, this isn't an NCAA tournament. This is a 7-game series. Granted, we know that, and you think you found something with Hachimura, which we will know tonight if that works or not, right? Bro. My question is, would you like a coach like Mike Malone that's vocal and tells his guys, hey, you suck on defense, or hey, this is the worst damn defense we ever played, to, oh, we found something, guys, keep your head up. Because you got to keep the morale up, right? Because you lost game 1. But as a fan, how do you feel of your coach's stance right now? Because from a Nuggets perspective, your coach just acts like, I mean, it's a series, don't get me wrong, but it's so cocky. You know what I'm saying? So how do you feel about that?
I don't know if it's cocky. I think he's saying what's the obvious. They lost, but it's game 1. And I think that's what he's saying. They came out, they punched us in the mouth, they won game 1. Like the old saying, a series is not a series till the home team loses. It's game 1. I don't really think he was being cocky. I think he was just saying, look, they came out, they beat us, but we'll make adjustments and we'll see what happened going forward. But I never felt like what he was trying. If he came off that way, that wasn't the vibe I got. I think he was just saying that we lost, but we're going to gear up and play game 2 and keep it moving.
Well, true. But you know what Mike Malone said on his press conference? He said, Darvin Ham, if I'm a Darvin Ham, right? If I'm Darvin Ham, I would have won game 1. You act like I get people, it's only game 1. And Denver is not like this. They're not cocky. And the reason why I say it's kind of cocky from a Denver's perspective, because the way that he made the adjustment, and teams make adjustments right during the game. If I'm him, and that's when we talked about experienced coaches to unexperienced and first-year head coaches, make that adjustment early. Mike Malone will make an adjustment in a hurry. You've seen when the Lakers started getting on a run, timeout immediately. Let's refocus. Let's regroup. Where you see the Lakers, they kept on bleeding and bleeding and bleeding. Like, my thing is,
you're speaking as a fan and not an analyst.
No, I am speaking as an analyst, because Mike Malone already said it. He said, if I'm Darvin Ham, I would like to be 1-up and not 0-1. That's what I'm saying.
No,
that's all I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say. And I'm not just speaking as a fan. As an analyst, though, the Lakers just seem kind of chillaxed. That's all I'm trying to say. They seem chillaxed. And if I'm them, they should not be chillaxed, because what happened to the Suns and what happened to the Wolves? Same thing.
The reason that they have to listen, The first game they lost. It's the first time they've been down in a series since the playoffs started. First game one they lost. The message that Darvin Ham is sending to his team is, hey, they still have to beat us 3 times. Like, it's just one game. Good thing this isn't the NCAA tournament, because if we got beat one time, we have one bad night, we're done. They still have to beat us 3 more times. So don't hang your head. We can make adjustments. We found an adjustment. We got back in that game. Now let's carry it over to game 2. That's good coaching. That's not cocky. That's just good coaching.
No, it's good. It's good. It's good coaching. I get that, but the comment as a Nuggets player, Nuggets fan, and analyst, no, you take the loss, you keep it pushing. That's all I'm
That's what
saying.
he's doing. He's keeping it pushing.
No. Watch. You'll see.
I think the Nuggets fan base is a little too sensitive.
I think you get too overconfident though, Dez. I think your overconfidence just really playing in playing yourself a little bit for Denver. I see it in your voice. I see you confident in Denver a lot, and I see you getting amped up a lot. But I mean, they everybody know, hey, that's just game 1. You still got to beat LeBron James 3 times, and which has that been kind of hard to do over his career. They know they got 3 more games to play. They know they're going back to LA as well. They know if they can get this game, they'll feel good about themselves going back to LA. I don't think it comes out at cocky. Like I say, they made the adjustments in the middle of the ballgame. They didn't make them too late. The Lakers were able to get down by 1 possession. They got down by 1 possession. Now, if there's anything, Denver got a little bit undisciplined. They almost cost themselves. They got undisciplined at the end of that game because they started fouling a lot and stopped the clock a lot. It just, Lakers had a couple of bad possessions where they had a turnover. Austin Reaves had a turnover when he should have shot an open 3, and LeBron James took a 3-pointer too early. That 2 late game situations kind of cost the Lakers the ball game in the game early in the game.
Are you saying LaFraud was the reason they lost the game?
No, I'm not saying. I just said
I am.
I said they had 2 bad possessions.
Well, and those 2 bad possessions were who?
One of them was Austin Reaves when he should have shot the basketball. When he should have shot the basketball, ended up as a turnover. And the one before that, LeBron shot the 3 too early. That was on LeBron. He shot the 3 too early.
LeBron shot the 3 too early, and LeBron turned the ball over.
No, Austin Reaves. I'm talking about Austin Reaves turned the ball over. When he should have shot a 3-pointer, he turned the ball over. Trying to go into the paint, he turned the ball over late in that game. And that's what kind of cost them the game.
The credit for the turnover went to LeBron.
I mean, but Austin Reaves turned down a 3, which he should have shot. So I mean,
I'm just taking my digs at LeBron.
He just thinking with LeBron. So other than that, we'll see what happens tonight. Should be a game. Should be a very good ball game tonight. But other than that, Gene, tell everybody where they can follow you at.
It's very simple. Wire to Wire Sports Podcast. Tonight I'll be on Pregame and Pigskin. Monday night cheap seats. But Wire to Wire has really grown at a level that I'm so happy with the downloads and what we've been accomplishing through Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and iHeart. We had a 700 week download this past week. 700 downloads in a week. That's paced. If we could do that for a month, that's almost 3,000 downloads a month. That's downloads. It's not just views, it's streams. That's people downloading the show and listening to it in their car. So I truly appreciate all the support we've gotten. And if you want to hear more of me, Wire to Wire Sports Podcast.
All right, so Dez, tell the people where they can follow you at. Hey, Dez say them Bucks gonna go to the playoff this year, man.
They are, man. They keep on getting more people, man. They got another 4-star recruit for 2024, but it's all love here, man. Like I said, just passionate fans, passionate analysts. But you guys can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Desmond 2015 234, and on the Empire Sports Network.
Mo said them 49ers gonna break through and them Lakers gonna break through tonight. So how you tell the people they can follow you at?
Love my Niners. Sports Empire Network. Check out the podcast, NBA Cypher. And other than that, I'll see you guys tomorrow on Coffee and Sports in the Morning.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Don't worry about it. I know my Rockets down for a little bit, but we'll be back up sooner or later. Texans got some upside. We'll be all right. We got some upside. I don't know about this year, but we got some upside coming up. But other than that, y'all know where y'all can find me at. No introduction. Man, shout out to everybody that support the Empire Sports Network. Shout out to the network family for having me a part of it. And like I say, we see you guys later tonight doing, play-by-play commentary, Denver and the Los Angeles Lakers, man. Make sure y'all check out pregame at Pigskin with my guy, Gene, Kyle, Godfrey, man. Y'all check them guys out, man, so y'all can learn the game of football, man. Y'all check them guys out. So other than that, man, hit that like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you guys later. Pregame at Pigskin. Y'all check it out.